What's going on, everyone? Welcome to episode 2 of my Pirates podcast. I, of course, am Nathan. Welcome to my channel. Still don't have a name for this podcast. Kind of working on that. Been kind of running some names in my head, but if you have any ideas, comment them down below just for fun. Maybe I'll use it and give you some credit. Today's episode, I have a fun one. We have two interesting talking points today, one of which has become a talking point in the last 2 days of the making of this episode. That, of course, is the title of this video, Henry Davis. And then another guy we'll talk about in a little bit has been thriving under the Donnie Kelly managerial change. He was completely worse, what it looked like with Derek Shelton. And then once Donnie Kelly showed up, this guy's been playing every day and he's been thriving under that role. You probably know who it is just because of that explanation, I could say. But we'll get to that in a little bit. But let's talk about some Henry Davis first. So Henry Davis, man, oh man, 1-1. If I told you I was going to be talking about a 1-1 draft pick today, you would presume it's Paul Skeens after that amazing outing he had in Game 3 against the Arizona Diamondbacks to win the Pirates a series of all places in the desert in Phoenix, Arizona. Yes, you heard that right. But the 1-1 pick I actually want to talk about today is Henry Davis. So Joey Bart goes down in Game 2 with a concussion. He's now on the 7-day injured list. It sucks to see. But if you're Henry Davis, you have to take this opportunity by the horns. You have to provide as much effort as you can to show this fan base, who I think still believes in you. I would hope they do. You have to show the organization that you can be catcher number one. And you got to just show yourself you're good at this. They showed on the broadcast in Game 3 against the Diamondbacks after Henry Davis had his big Game 2, which we'll talk about in a second, that Adam Frazier was just talking about him, just needs to relax. He was teaching him these drills. And I'm watching these at-bats Henry Davis is taking on the first game on Bart on the IL, and he just looks comfortable. They look like better at-bats. This guy is swinging at pitches that he usually wouldn't swing at. He's usually just watching, go right by them. He can mash these, and he's hitting them now for singles, doubles, home runs we saw this series. So let's go game by game, situation by situation for Henry Davis in Arizona. So against the Diamondbacks in Game 2, after Joey Bart goes out with concussion symptoms, that is, it was 6-0 at the time. Funny thing, I, of course, went to bed because I worked the next day and I had to get up at 6:15. So I only watched the first 2 innings. It was 2-0 at the time. I wake up to see my phone say Pirates pull off 7-run inning, win 9-6. I was like, what on earth was this? Then I see people saying Joey Bart got hurt. I was like, what has happening here? I go on the game summary to see what even happened. I see Henry Davis comes in, hits a 2-run home run off of Corbin Burns of all people, and then has a double to the opposite side of the field in the right center gap to one of the deepest parts of the ballpark at Chase Field. Henry Davis, that was one of the best games I think any Pirate fan has seen out of him ever since probably this guy who hit 2 home runs off of Shohei Ohtani his rookie season in Anaheim at Angel Stadium. Yes, the only player in Major League history to do that still to Shohei Ohtani as a pitcher is Henry Davis, which is crazy to say based off the career Henry has had so far. And you could even throw in the game he had a couple of days ago against the Cincinnati Reds where he had the 2 hits and then caught, I think he threw 2 guys out at second base. He had an amazing day at catcher. He had a great tag at home on the Reds. He basically played great defense and great offense. Those have by far been his 2 best games, in my opinion, of his major league career. And today entered that top 3. Today, well, 2 days ago, that is, entered probably the number 2 spot behind the Ohtani 2 home run game. So against Corbin Burns, he hits a 2-run shot to left field, and then he hits that double. And I'm on his baseball reference log page. You can look up his game by game. It's actually a very interesting tool because you can even select, like, if you've never used baseball reference before, you are able to select, like, game by game, how they have done in a span. So, and it also updates their average game by game. So from his last appearance against the Brewers, he was batting 174. After that game in Game 2, his average went up to 204. He then gets to start in Game 3 because Joey Bart officially goes in the IL, and he gets 2 hits. He's now batting 222. His OBP has jumped to 300 from 291, 352 slugging up from a 347, and a 652 OPS now jumped up from the 638 from the previous game. His OPS, to just put this straight, after that home run he hit, jumped from a 508 in the final game against Milwaukee in Pittsburgh up to a 638 in Arizona, and it's now at a 652. You have local radio guys, local reporters, fans all over Pittsburgh. Everyone's clamoring for Henry Davis now all of a sudden. And you know what? Sucks to say. I've been wanting this forever, but you're just called stupid for like, oh, he's just a bust. You have all these people on the internet just going, oh yeah, bust Davis. He stinks. Get rid of him. No, guys, that's not how it works. You have to give these guys at bats. Calling Henry Davis a bust, I get it. You're mad. He's a 1-1 pick. You're expecting a 1-1 draft pick to just take the league by storm. Just become a Mike Trout of sorts, a Bryce Harper of sorts. There's only one of those guys each. Henry Davis is not either of those hitters. I don't think he will be. We all saw with Spencer Torkelson, how he started in Detroit. Then he just fell off a cliff, and now look at him. He is a 30 home run guy. And there were people still thinking the Tigers should move on from him. They just wrote that guy off so quick, but he's having a very solid year. Henry Davis so far in his career, what people say has already been a bust, he's only had 383 plate appearances. 383. To put that into perspective, catcher number one currently, Joey Bart, who we're going to compare Henry to, especially when it comes to defense, has had 856 at-bats in his career. Joey Bart, who is now on his second team, and it was just basically given up by the Giants for practically nothing to the Pirates, Bart was drafted second overall by the San Francisco Giants, and you could say that he was a bust. He was supposed to be the guy after Buster Posey, and I made a video about this a couple months ago on my channel. You can find that down on the wherever it is on my channel. But I might put it in the description. But Joey Bart was supposed to be that guy behind Buster Posey, and it just never worked out. So you could say Joey Bart was a bust. Joey Bart then comes to Pittsburgh and practically resurges his career. He went from a -4 WAR in 2023 in his 30 games played, a .8 WAR in 2022, a 0 WAR in 2021 when he only played twice, and then in 33 games his rookie year had a .3 WAR. His highest WAR in San Francisco was that .8 in 2022. 2024 in Pittsburgh, his WAR was 2.2, the best of his career. He batted .265, .337, .462, and an OPS of .799, a 0.1% away from an .800 OPS for Joey Bart. So far this year, Joey Bart, however, has a .1 WAR. And we're going to get to Henry Davis versus Joey Bart in a second, so I don't want to go through that rabbit hole right now. But to talk about Henry Davis so far this year, so he has 4 hits in these last 2 games. He has looked awesome, 3 RBIs. He is already at 7 RBIs, 2 home runs. To put that into a perspective, funny enough, he has already overpassed his RBI total from last year, where he only had 5 in 2024. He is already overpassed his home run total of 2024, where he only had 1. His career high in home runs was his rookie year in 2023. He had 7 home runs, 24 ribbies. He's looking like he might be passing that, especially the RBI department, even if you could say he's going to be playing a lot more. So with Henry Davis, my thing is this. If you want to be a bust, if you want to call him a bust, that is, go ahead. You're free to do it as a fan. I don't care. Well, I think you're stupid in saying that. Probably. And I guess that's just my opinion there. I know there's other fans that will probably think you're stupid too for doing that. But like I say, I completely get why you want to call the guy a bust. He's a 1-1 draft pick. You look at what the Baltimore Orioles got out of Adley Rutschman, who is a 1-1 pick. I know he's having a slow start this year, but that is a guy whose bat looks like it has been developed to the major league level very good. Henry Davis, on the other hand, has looked like the worry is he's a quad A type of player. You think about Jack Sawinski on the Pirates. He's just too good for AAA. You bring up to the major leagues. He had that really good year where he hit like 26 home runs, and now he just can't hit anymore, and he's too good for AAA right now. Henry Davis, on the other hand, rakes in the minors, has come up to the majors every time and just falls apart. Last year, his slash line proved that. Well, let's go year by year. Rookie year, he played in 62 games, 255 at-bats. Well, plate appearances, that is. Slash line of a 213 average, a 302 OBP, a 351 slugging, and a 653 OPS, an OPS plus of 77. Rookie year, catcher, sure, it's fine. -1.5 WAR, not what you want to see out of your guy in his first major league season. So year 2, many were expecting, okay, this is going to be the year for Henry Davis. He put up a -0.6 WAR. He was basically sent down to the minors because you had Yasmani Grandal at the time, and then the resurgence of Joey Bart coming in out of nowhere. So this in my opinion, kind of screwed over the development at the major league level of a Henry Davis. Nothing against Joey Bart being good last year, but you want to see your 1-1 catcher develop in the major league level. I loved seeing him tear it up in AAA Indy, but I want to see that in the major league level. I want to see this guy hitting home runs into the river at some point in his life, not at Victory Field in Indianapolis. We got to see it up here, not at the middle. Last year in 2024, he only played in 37 games. He spent basically a majority of it after 122 plate appearances in AAA Indy. Last year in the majors, he batted 144, 242, 212, and a 453 OPS. Not good. So far this year, he's been a positive WAR player. 20 games, 62 plate appearances, 54 at-bats. He has a .7 WAR, so getting very close to that WAR of 1, which would honestly be very good for what Henry Davis has provided so far. Already has the 2 home runs, 7 ribbies. His overall slash line, 222, 300, 352, 652. So his OPS this year is only 0.1 away from his OPS his rookie year. His OPS plus has already topped his OPS plus his rookie year, where it was 77. It's now sitting at an 82. So Henry Davis this year has begun to surge. I mean, he's had a very good 2-game stretch in Arizona. And with this injury that Joey Bart has had, and it's sad to say it's a concussion, it's a very serious injury, this is a chance for Henry Davis to take this job by the horns. Like I said earlier, this is a chance for Henry Davis to just show what he can do in the major league level. This is a chance for Henry Davis to show he can be that 1-1 pick that Pirates fans have been begging for. This was a guy that many were like, why didn't they pick Jack Leiter? There's been some discourse on Twitter. Why didn't they pick Jordan Lawler? Well, Jordan Lawler didn't have a great series against the Pirates, a couple errors and no hits. Henry Davis was there, and you could argue you take Henry Davis because you were able to draft Bubba Chandler with the bonus pool money, and Anthony Solometo with the bonus pool money, and Bubba Chandler is going to be up here soon. He's one of the best prospects in all of baseball. So that's why you could argue Henry Davis being the pick. At the time, I really liked the Henry Davis draft pick. Currently, it's looking like I hope he gets more playing time. And with Joey Bart going down with his injury, you kind of see that he is going to be getting a bulk of playing time. And it's good for Henry Davis. It sucks for Joey Bart here. Endy Rodriguez is now back on the team, too, after he cut his finger a month or so ago, and he was on the injured list, and he's now back. Now, here's the thing. Tomorrow, I'm going to be posting this literally right after I make this, but tomorrow is Friday against the Padres. I think some fans are, just because of the Derek Shelton effect, what we've come to know in the last 6 years since he's been manager and now that he's gone, players sometimes get benched after a really good game. And Henry Davis, they have a day off. Some fans might be nervous that Endy Rodriguez is going to be thrown back in there. Right now, the way Henry Davis has been playing as of late, especially with the defense, he has to be catcher number 1. I understand Endy Rodriguez is also younger, but Henry Davis has that draft class pedigree. The 1-1 overall pick, you have to see what you have out of this guy. You have to let Henry Davis play. Endy Rodriguez needs to be backup for now. We have to remember this as well with Endy Rodriguez. He was hurt all of last year, and he just got thrown back into the major leagues this year. And his bat, in my opinion, this year hasn't really excited me. I think what they should have done at the beginning of this season was Henry Davis in the majors, Endy Rodriguez in the minors. Instead, it flip-flopped. It went Endy in the majors, Henry in the minors. But right now, the plan with Henry Davis has to be this. It has to be getting this guy as many reps as possible. In a 3-game series, he's going to need to be playing 2 out of every 3. I understand the day game after night game thing. Henry Davis has to play 2 out of every 3. And there's some pedigree with this position too. Not just because being a 1-1 catcher, he is Paul Skeens' personal catcher. That's going to get him some pedigree in the clubhouse with the other starters. Every single starting pitcher is going to see what Paul Skeens is doing with Henry Davis, seeing the type of game Henry Davis has been calling behind the plate with the pitch comm and being like, maybe I want that guy. But yeah, Henry Davis, in my opinion, has to be playing more. I understand, sure, maybe we are overreacting about Henry Davis right now because it's like this crazy 2-game stretch. But Henry Davis hasn't had many opportunities. Yes, I understand why people want to call this guy a bust, but just look at Spencer Torkelson over in Detroit. Look at how amazing he has been doing with his power. Henry Davis, he has developed a glove. He's been throwing guys out at second base, making some good tags at home, by the way, too. We just saw that one last week against Cincinnati. He's also seemed to be getting the bat going. He is pulling these swings. I was at a game a couple days ago against it was the Milwaukee Brewers. He almost hit a home run. He pulled it foul. This dude would have so many more home runs if he's not pulling his swing to foul territory. And it seems like after this Adam Frazier hitting advice that he took, what it was noted on the broadcast, he is learning from that and is looking way more relaxed at the plate. When I'm watching this series against the Diamondbacks, guys, he just looks more comfortable. He's not trying to overproduce. He's said in interviews he's just having fun. That's all you can do. Yes, people will say it's not about having fun. You're getting paid millions and millions and millions of dollars to play Major League Baseball. Well, I'd want to have fun at my job, wouldn't you guys? If you're not having fun at your job, you're not probably going to perform as well. Sure, you can argue, well, you should be performing anyway because you're getting paid. But if you're going to work every day just miserable, you're not going to want to perform as well. You have to be having fun in this environment. This team, at the time of this, has like 21 wins, 36 losses. They still have a lot of work to do. And we're going to talk about someone else in the end of this video. Two opposite sides of the spectrum right now since the managerial change. And we'll get to that in a little bit. But they need to just be comfortable. Have some fun playing baseball. Who knows? This has been a breath of fresh air, especially with this Henry Davis stuff, especially with the guy we're going to be talking about in a second. It's been a fresh air to see some of these guys play. Brian Reynolds has been heating up. O'Neal Cruz is having a breakout year. Paul Skeens, Mitch Keller, Andrew Heaney, Bailey Falter even have been very fun to watch. Andrew McCutchen's still playing great baseball. It's at the point where who knows? If they get hot, maybe they can get below 10 games under 500, maybe make a little bit of a run towards 500. The goal for this team right now is to play for Donnie Kelly. It clearly is, and it looks like they're having a lot more fun under Donnie Kelly. But yeah, Donnie Kelly, him playing Henry Davis a little bit more this week. He's also been giving Henry Davis some more reps, especially with Joey Bart still healthy, which has been very interesting. But yeah, I want to look at Henry Davis versus Joey Bart really quick before we get into the player I want to talk about next. If you go to their Savant pages, here I want to talk about the defense very quick between Henry Davis and Joey Bart. We'll start with Joey Bart here really quick. Blocks above average, 56th percentile. He is average in the league. Joey Bart, that is. Henry Davis right now, 35th percentile. Right now, Joey Bart hasn't beaten that. Caught stealing above average, though. This is what I want to talk about. Joey Bart right now, still league average, 62nd percentile. We're starting to see some maroon color, not pure red in his bubbles like we like to joke about. Henry Davis, though, it's red. Joey Bart was at a 62nd percentile. Henry Davis is caught stealing above average on Baseball Savant. 92nd percentile. He has a 3. Joey Bart's at a 0. Henry Davis is amongst the league's best when it comes to caught stealing. He is picking guys off. He looks good behind the plate. Then we go down to framing. This team, I don't think, has had a great framer since the great Austin Hedges that we all know and love. He couldn't hit, but he could frame. Joey Bart at a 12th percentile, -3 rank. Henry Davis at a 21st percentile, -1. So Henry, I guess, hasn't beaten that. And then here's where we get to this. This is the big one for me when it comes to a catcher is your pop time. This is basically you're getting up fast. They're measuring how fast you get up, how fast you're throwing these guys out, how fast you can move. Joey Bart ranks among the worst in the league. A 2.03. He's in the 4th percentile. Very blue. I understand Joey Bart is a slower guy, but you're a major league catcher. You got to be making these plays, especially since you're a number 2 overall pick from the 2018 draft. So you have the 4th percentile for Joey Bart, 2.03. Henry Davis is at a 1.89. He is in. Bart's in the 4th. Henry Davis is pure red, the 89th percentile, one of the best in all of Major League Baseball. Like I said, 89th percentile. He's also a faster runner, 76th percentile for him. Joey Bart, 23rd. When it comes to catching, Henry Davis has looked like the way and I mean way better catcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pirates, in my opinion, got to let their number 1 overall pick play. Sure, Joey Bart seems to have the better bat right now, but as of late, Joey Bart has kind of been slumping, you could say. Joey Bart's expected batting average right now, he is outperforming that. He's currently hitting 240. Expected batting average, according to Savant, is a 236. Henry Davis currently is underperforming his expected batting average. His current average, that is 222. It's gone up. His expected batting average, guys, is 280. 280. Davis has been getting unlucky this year, which is crazy. Batting run value, here's an interesting one. Henry Davis right now, he doesn't have really the bubbles official just because he hasn't had enough time, but they do have stats. Henry Davis sits at a 1 on batting run value, which is average. Joey Bart is in the poor range. Sure, he's getting you some ribbies. He has a -3 batting run value. He is not providing much. We've said it. We've seen it all this year if you're watching a game. Nothing against Joey Bart. You want to see some pop in that bat. He's just been hitting singles. This team basically lacks oomph, you could say. They lack just a thumper in the middle of the lineup. You have Joey Bart batting 3rd or 4th every so often, maybe 5th, and he's just giving you singles. You've added Horwitz into the lineup, which is good. He can add a little bit of pop. But when you have O'Neal Cruz batting leadoff and Joey Bart's in this position, he's just giving you singles. Like, I'm looking at his spray chart. It's a lot of singles. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 doubles, 1 triple, 1 home run. The rest are singles this year. The rest are singles. I don't even want to count them because they're all jumble up, but literally only, if I'm looking at a Savant page, let me count how many left the infield. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 are not even touching the diamond in the infield on Baseball Savant, guys. Joey Bart needs to be better at making the ball get into the air. Henry Davis, on the other hand, is getting the ball into the outfield even with his singles. He's not getting infield singles. So the basis of this argument is this. To put it simply before we move on, because I want to move on really quick, you have to let Henry Davis play. You really do. No offense to Joey Bart, but it feels like Joey Bart has kind of hit his ceiling last year, and that is the best you're going to get of a Joey Bart as your everyday catcher. The other thing the Pirates could do if they want both these guys in the lineup is this. Andrew McCutchen play the outfield every so often. Joey Bart go to DH. Endy Rodriguez is your backup catcher. Henry Davis is your starting catcher. Or Andrew McCutchen, Joey Bart switch off. Or what you could do, what fans have been wanting to do, you let Joey Bart play first base with Spencer Horwitz against lefties. Because we all know Spencer Horwitz doesn't play against lefties. And the big move by Ben Cherington was basically platooning a first baseman, which I hope it doesn't have to be a platoon, but we all know Spencer Horwitz has not been a lefty guy. So you could play Bart in that situation, but you have to teach him first base. And we all know this team as fans, we hate teaching people first base because we haven't had a real first baseman since Spencer Horwitz. So yeah, since Carlos Santana too. But yeah, Henry Davis versus Joey Bart. Leave your comments down below. Who starts? Who do you want starting every day, even after Joey Bart comes back? If we see Henry Davis hit for 7 days, say he goes ice cold, do you still want to see Henry Davis hit over Joey Bart in this situation? Would you still like to see him getting catching reps? Because personally, the way he's been playing catcher, especially defensively, I would love it. So moving on. Another guy I have really loved, Alexander Canario. I can't believe for my second podcast episode about the Pirates, I'm talking about Alexander Canario right now. It's been a rough season, guys. Alexander Canario. So, on Baseball Savant, I'm going to select the games where Derek Shelton was manager. So, this is interesting. He was fired after the last game in St. Louis. Canario played in 16 games, 45 plate appearances, 41 at-bats. His average, 122. OBP, 200. Slugging, 195. OPS, 395. 1 home run, the one in Cincinnati, 2 ribbies. Not good. Not good at all. Whenever you go to there, so he's batting 122 with Derek Shelton as manager. Derek Shelton leaves. There was an instance where Canario just disappeared from the lineup too. The game where he hit the home run, He played the next day and then was benched 6 days in a row. 6 days. He gets him a home run on April 12th in Cincy, plays the next day, doesn't get a hit. Then he's benched until the Cleveland series. So basically sat a whole week. He was benched from April 13th to April 19th. And this is where we get mad as Pirates fans. My biggest criticism with Derek Shelton wasn't the bullpen. I think everyone can agree it was the management of the lineup. Every single day was something different. Something different. Something different every single day. You'd see a different combination. I was keeping track of this at the beginning of the year. I think it was like 14 straight games, it felt like, until we saw a repeat lineup. Every single day you'd have like an Adam Frazier leadoff, an IKF leadoff, a Cruz leadoff, Reynolds maybe, Kutch, who knows? Pick a name out of a hat. Derek Shelton would say you're batting leadoff today. Players can't have that. You have to have some, I guess, consistency with these lineups, to put it simply. So, like I said, Canario was hitting 122 until when Shelton was the coach. Ever since, so in those games, he played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 games as with Derek Shelton. With Donnie Kelly, he's played in 18 games. And to note, Donnie Kelly is 9-10 as manager. So, Canario's only missed one game with Donnie Kelly's manager. And here we go with this. So he was batting 122 with Derek Shelton. With Donnie Kelly putting him in lineups every single day, average 313, OBP 361, slugging 478, OPS 839, 2 home runs, 5 RBIs. Alexander Canario has had an amazing month of May. One of the Pirates' best players in the month of May. And this goes to show why you need to give these guys at-bats. You got to give them some sort of runway to work with. You have to. Let me type in Alexander Canario's Baseball Savant page really quick, because I'm pretty sure there is a lot of red to be happy about. And if you know Baseball Savant, the red bubbles can be a thing. His arm's good in the outfield, arm value as well. Bat speed, 76.4. Great percentile. Hard hit, 52.7. He's in the great. Barrel rate, 17.6. He's in the great. Expected slugging, 494. He's in the great. Every other stat, he's around league average. He's been a competent hitter. Overall slash line with the 122 average with Derek Shelton and what he has done with Donnie Kelly, he is now batting 241, 299, 370, 669. This goes to show that Canario has thrived with consistency in the lineup. You have to let these guys play. If the Pirates are going to stink, let's just see what these guys have. Let's just see it. Alexander Canario has been great. He's been fun to watch. In these last couple games against Arizona, he didn't hit in the last game. In game 2, he had 2 hits. Game 1, he had 2 hits. Final game against Milwaukee, he had a 3-hit game. 1 hit. Against Cincinnati, he had a rough series, only had 1 hit. Against Philly, he had 3 hits. Against the New York Mets, he had 2 hits, 1 hit. Against the Braves, he had 1 hit. In these games as Donnie Kelly as manager, Canario has not had a hit in how many games? 1, 2, 3, 4 of those games he started has yet to get a hit. Only in 4. In 4. He's played in 18 of those. So 4 out of those 18 games, he did not record a single hit. He has been on fire with the consistent at-bats. That's Alexander Canario. What to make out of it? You have to play him more. Now, a guy that has lost at-bats since Donnie Kelly's become manager, and I want to talk about this really briefly, and I hate to do it, Tommy Pham. Tommy Pham, since Derek Shelton has been gone, and when I'm looking at this just to prep for this episode, it is crazy to see how little Tommy Pham has played since the Donnie Kelly managerial change. I brought up Canario playing 18 games. Tommy Pham has played in a whopping 9. He did not play in 10 of them. He's played in 9 games, and he's batting .296 in those 9 games. So he's looked a little bit better, but he's hitting nothing but singles. With Derek Shelton plugging him in every single day, let me go up to the beginning of the year to find this. Let's go to the last St. Louis game because he played basically every day. With Derek Shelton as his manager, he played in 31 games. He batted .183, .259, .221, .480. Any other competent manager is benching that. Sure, he got signed to a 1-year, $4 million deal, but when you have a guy in Alexander Canario on the bench who is not getting playing time, getting benched after hitting a home run, disappearing for about literally a week at a time under Derek Shelton, you're not going to get these guys to be better. And it makes me wonder if the Pirates are just trotting out Tommy Pham out there to try to up his trade value, but it clearly hasn't worked. So with Tommy Pham, I was going to title this little slide on my screen, I think he's on his way out soon. I think when Nick Gonzalez is coming up soon, it's probably going to be Jared Triolo for him. Maybe a Nick Solak because he hasn't really been doing much in the big leagues. They haven't really been using him. But with Alexander Canario doing really good, you can't just get rid of Alexander Canario. He's earned playing time. Alexander Canario has been one of the best players for the Pirates in the month of May, minus O'Neal Cruz's power. Minus this little come up for Brian Reynolds in the final week. Alexander Canario has been the most competent hitter of the Pittsburgh Pirates this month. One of my stars of the month for this team overall. Even with the pitching, because the pitching's been very good, but Alexander Canario, you can't just decline what he has done. What an episode, guys. So yeah, basically, the gist of this episode was just to express the concern I have. Well, not even concern. It's just the concerns that I have for these guys needing more consistency because, like we said, Henry Davis, people want to see more of. Alexander Canario, look at what it's done to him. And then Tommy Pham, I think he's on his way out. But thank you all for watching this episode 2 of the Bucko Podcast here on my YouTube channel. My name is Nathan. It says on the bottom, go subscribe to the channel for more. It will mean a lot to me. Trust me, it will. We're going to try to get to 400 sometime soon. I think we're at 338 right now. Let's get to it. Leave a comment down below what you think about all of this. Leave me your thoughts about Henry Davis. Do you want to see more of him, even when Joey Bart comes back? What's your thoughts about Alexander Canario? Because I really like him right now. And then Tommy Pham, how much longer do you think we got to do this? But thank you all for watching. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with all your friends. I'll see you next time.